let me tell you a little bit more about where I lived. Let's go back to the 10th of September. No, that's not when. It's where. 10 de Septiembre is the name of the street we lived on once we left Sonsonate to move into a house my grandmother owned in San Salvador. Dad was convinced moving was a great way to save money and to break into better job opportunities in the big city. I don't know how we could have lived any cheaper than we were, but Dad thought it was possible. Mom had other ideas about the actual motive. Alfredo, you just want to move so you can run around with your crazy drunk brother. I gotta say, Mom had a point. My dad's crazy drunk brother, Uncle Americo, lived in the guest house and practically ran the neighborhood. Americo just wasn't happy unless he was kicking somebody's ass. I mean, he could too. Once there was this big bully from Honduras that moved into the neighborhood, El Catracho, which means the Honduran. This guy was like a giant, like 6 feet tall. He was sweeping the neighborhood with everybody just for fun until Americo stepped in. My uncle only came into this guy's armpit, but he took him apart. Sent the guy running back to Honduras. Yep, Americo never turned down a fight, and he never turned down a drink. By the time he was in his 30s, Americo just got the shakes if he didn't have any alcohol in him. One day, my father and his friends were walking down the street, and as he passed a darkened corner, a hand reached out to him. Can I have some change, please? No tengo pisto. Please, Alfredito. Americo, is that you? I'm hungry, man. I just want to get some pupusas. No, I give you money, you'll spend it on booze. Por favor, Alfredito. Here it is, 1 colon, Americo. Then Dad continued down the street with his friends. Later on, he hears a sudden screech of tires and the thud of something hit in the car. Dad ran to the street where he can see a man laying in a pool of blood. As he got closer, he could see the man's face. His hand was still holding a half-eaten pupusa. Americo, hermano. Americo died right there on the street. No one knows why the 10 de Septiembre was named after dates. All streets in El Salvador were named after dates. Not important dates, just random ones. 3 de Mayo, 19 de Octubre. It could get pretty confusing given directions. How do I get to the store? Head a couple of months back and make a left 2 weeks ago. Then go straight for like 3 days. Americo and all of my dad's buddies used to hang around the street corner of 10 de Septiembre. When my dad was little, he used to wear shorts with suspenders, making them look like those kids you see in the back of milk cartons. Everyone in the neighborhood called him Niño Perdido, lost kid. Well, here he is with a wife and 3 kids, and they're still calling him Lost Kid. Around 10 de Septiembre, once you had a nickname, it was yours for life. One of Dad's best drinking buddies was Cabuya, cigarette butt. Too cheap to buy his own cigarettes, but always wanted a hit of yours. Then there was Uncle Camello, who strolled like a camel. Gorilla, who always banged his chest when he spoke. Then there was Flea, who had more than a few, and then his pal Gato. Then there was Lizard, not to be confused with Salamander, and Mole, who couldn't see shit. For obvious reasons, my grandmother used to call La 10 de Septiembre the zoo. And it's true, the crowd wasn't very civilized, especially after a few dozen bottles of muñeco. Now, muñeco is like really, really cheap tequila, just not as smooth. Inevitably, someone would disagree with somebody else and a fight would erupt. But we're not savages in my country. We got ways of dealing through dispute. You guys have Dr. Phil. The residents of 10 de Septiembre had our front porch. We had a cement porch that we used like a ring whenever zoo members wanted to settle out their disagreements, otherwise known as beating the living shit out of each other. When these guys went at it, It made YouTube bum fights look like the Teletubbies. We neighborhood kids loved it when these guys went at it. The best part was booing the loser away. Nothing is quite as satisfying as to further humiliate a drunk who's already beat. The zoo members had gotten bored with punching each other in the face, so they decided to give us kids a muñeco-inspired, spontaneous holiday fireworks display. But forget the Red Devil family fun pack stuff. We don't actually have fireworks in El Salvador. We do have small sticks of dynamite. Americo said, hey, watch this, kids. Grabs a stick of dynamite, lights it, holds it. Second before it explodes, he tosses it over our heads. Boom! Americo! Not to be outdone, Gorilla steps up and grabs 2 sticks and lights them. Boom! Boom! Gorilla! Patachuca had been watching the whole thing. That's old smelly feet. That's nothing. I'll show you how it's done. Oh, did I mention that we're drinking? Patachuca grabs 3 sticks and lights one of them. Then he lights the second one. As he's lighting the third one, Gorilla and Americo go, look, you stupid idiot, you're gonna get hurt. Any fag can light 1. 2, it takes a real man to light boom, boom, boom. 3 of Patachuca's fingers go flying into space like little Vienna sausages, hurtling into space. Patachuca! This was a historic moment around 10 de Septiembre. It's the only documented incident where a nickname actually changed. Henceforth, Patachuca became known as Dos Dedos. Hey, lizard, I can't hold my drink. I'm salamander, you idiot.